I know we talked to Ian today, and one thing he could tell us is that confidence is back. He's feeling good about how he feels.
Yeah, well, I think he should. I mean, he had I would think, a normal off season because he did pitch last year, and so it's just about going out and performing now.
He said he's worked on some things, added some things that we'll see to kind of get him back to where he was and to lengthen his career and all that. Have you seen? Does he look good?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen video, and I watched him throw a side the other day, and that's about it. So I'll kind of zero in on him when we start facing hitters and the games. But yeah, I mean, he should do all that, but he's not very old yet.
Right.
I mean, he's been through a lot at a young age and experienced a lot, which is why I'm excited about seeing him, because I know he loves to compete, he loves to pitch, and he's worked his tail off the last couple of years to get back. So hopefully it works out for him.
He seems like mentally he's exactly where he needs to be. He's totally aware of what the situation
what's going on.
is.
Yeah, no, and that's good as you mature and are in this thing and you see what's going on and you start to understand it and what you got to do, and I think that's another step of peeling off layers of being a big leaguer.
What do you think you need to see from him in this
Well,
camp?
just consistency. I think get guys out. I mean, command to just see where the overall pitches. It's just things like that. As far as just like everybody else. As we're looking at guys, as we look to cut the club, it's gonna probably be a result-oriented type situation for a lot of guys.
Yesterday we talked about Sean Murphy and Travis d'Arnaud. But how have you liked the dynamic now, adding Drake in the mix with Chadwick and those three all together now at the catcher?
No, it's good. Yeah, I like the fact that we have a little depth. And I said yesterday, it's hard to replace Travis with the experience and what he meant to us and everything he's done here. But you know what? I'm excited. Hopefully Murph stays healthy. Like I say, last year starting out wasn't kind of how we drew it up, leaving spring training, but you're forced to make adjustments along the way. And so I feel really good about where Murph's at and the fact that he knows that he's going to carry the load this year.
Ian said that Drake is one of the better hitting prospects he's seen come up in a while. Have you seen that early on in the spring training at least?
No, I mean I just know what I've seen over the years and how he's progressed and gotten better. I think we've done a good job of developing him and getting him all the reps that we can in the minor leagues but I just hear about the opposite field power and a left-handed hitting catcher, and I know they're already making some adjustments for his throwing, which I think has been really good. And I say the biggest thing I can say is just having him in spring training. He's improving every year, which is a really good thing.
What about, I know you probably feel this way about all the injured guys, but how much does it feel like you're signing a guy when you get Riley back, after not having him for a lot of last year?
No, it was big. I know he's likes where he's at, and that's hard. It's hard for those guys to miss time and to watch games that they're, because they're conditioned and to play every day, and it's hard for them guys. And I know Austin felt bad, but, what are you going to do? And so I'm just glad it healed up, and saw videos earlier, and just in talking to him, seems like he looks great. I know that. And George was telling me, on the BPs that we're doing now, he looked really good.
What does it mean for a group to have a guy like that who really day in, day out kind of does things the right way?
No, he's what it's all about. That's what they look like right there. I mean, he's a guy, when people talk about, the room, and he's a voice, and the way he carries himself and how he prepares and the consistency and all. And, it's just, he's everything that we always thought he would when we drafted him.
Spencer was out there. It looked like he was throwing about 50% out there. Did you get the chance to speak to him or see him?
No, it's just a feeling touch. I mean, that was good, what he was doing. And, he threw 2 days ago, so it kind of makes you feel good that he's, just doing a little feeling touch for his next side. But everything's good right now with him.
Matt had two such different years last year and the year before. What do you look for out of him? What do you...
Matt Olson?
Matt Olson.
Yeah. No, I just hopefully, he had a long spell there. And that's hopefully that we can eliminate, the disc. Because guys are going to struggle. They're going to have that. They're going to have 4 or 5 days. And I think the biggest thing is to keep it at 4 or 5 days and not 2 weeks. And I didn't expect him to go out and hit 60 and 160 after what he had 2 years ago. But he ended up, to his credit, man, he just stays with it, and that's a pretty good year that he ended up with. So, but that's the scary thing of what he's actually capable of on a normal year. Like I say, I think if he can just keep the periods where, they struggle, which they all do. They're all going to. It's just like a team. You're going to go through bad spells, and if you're lucky, it'll only be one. You're probably going to have to navigate more than one. That's why it makes this game so hard.
Perdomo's a guy that, you haven't probably got to see since the Pirates days. Have you seen him?
Who's that?
Perdomo?
Just, I watched the side. I've seen video and his side. So really don't remember that much other than how big a man he is. But he's throwing the ball really good when I saw the side that he threw the other day. So he's another good. There's some interesting guys. I like overall pretty much seeing everybody. Our group of like the non-rosters and guys like that are really good right now. There's some really nice arms there that's going to be interesting as we look to fill out the bullpen and starters and the whole thing. So I like the group that we've amassed here and brought to camp.
You're hoping to see Daysbell take that next step.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we need him to. He's another one that, he threw the ball really well towards down the stretch, and hopefully he's a guy that we looked at a couple of years ago. Then he got hurt, and so I think he has the weapons and to be a guy. It's going to be hard. It's hard to replace a Joe Jimenez and A.J. Minter. I mean, those guys just don't grow on trees. And, Dicebell's a guy that we've had in those situations, and so hopefully he can carry that on.
I remember your minor league guys like Salinas a couple years ago when you had him. Is he fully healthy after that surgery he had in the summer? Is he throwing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pierce Johnson was another guy that we talked to today that said he hopes to be one of those guys that can step in for an AJ Minter.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from him?
Well, I think he has the weapons also. I know that he's working on things, and I think pitch mixes and stuff like that. But if he's healthy, we've seen what he can do, and he could be a guy that could be a high leverage guy. And as he's been since he's been here, I mean, he's one of those guys that can bridge you to get to the back end. And if he's got to be at the back end, he's got weapons to do that.
How much does it help having these catchers like Casali and Sandy Leon to work with these young?
No, I think it's really good. It's really good. Those are two guys that have been doing it a long time, and they're really good with what they do. I mean, they understand their roles and how important, the catching and the pitching and the pitch calling and having the confidence of the guys that they're catching. I think they both get that, which is probably the reason why they've all been around for a dozen years.
When you keep talking about getting video, is it guys like sending you video from their cell phone while they're training, like, hey, I'm good, here's
George,
where I'm at?
well, especially, the rehab guys, George will send it to me. Like I said, I got one of Austin hitting in the cage when he first started, and then like Ian Perdomo, some of the guys are down here in the rehab things, they video that, and then they'll ship it to me.
I'm kind of interested, when you bounce from drill to drill or group to group as a manager, are you watching everybody all the time, or are you focused on one guy?
No, I'm watching everybody, just trying to learn who they are, and just kind of, I like to watch the pitchers when they're throwing their sides and all that, and then I'll kind of just spread myself around just to see everybody in different situations.